What's going on, Sports Wars? This is Ryan with RK Outpost and GeeksGamers.com, and when your league decides to put identity politics and social justice ahead of its fans, ahead of everything that you stand for, when you decide to go woke, you will go broke, and that's exactly what we're seeing from Major League Baseball. Just a few weeks after the decision by Rob Manfred to move the Major League Baseball All-Star Game out of the state of Georgia for a virtue signal. They moved it to Colorado. They said it was about voting rights because the Georgia voting rights, it's just too restrictive. We can't have this. So instead, what you do, you move the Major League Baseball All-Star Game to Colorado, which has very similar voting rights. You move this game out of Atlanta, Georgia, with a huge black population. You take $100 million out of that economy and move it to Colorado over politics. Rob Manfred and Major League Baseball bent the knee to the woke sports media, the liberal politicians, and these losers on Twitter. Now they're paying for it, and we are seeing, predictably, down party lines, a huge drop in support for Major League Baseball. Take a look at this article from Outkick. MLB falls out of favor with Republicans after moving All-Star Game. This is by Megan Turner. Shout out to Megan Turner and to Outkick. Major League Baseball is the latest league to fall out of favor with Republicans after pulling the All-Star Game and draft out of Atlanta in response to Georgia's new GOP-sponsored voting laws. Morning Consul's Alex Silverman reports that Republicans now have a less favorable view than Democrats of all four major sports leagues. And that's not how it was before this happened, to be honest with you. Major League Baseball had a ton of support from Republicans and from the GOP. That's how it has been for a long, long time. But one decision from Rob Manfred, that sends it spiraling out of control. You had Black Lives Matter on the field last year. You had the social justice things that were going on the field. That turned some people off. But they got over it eventually because it was mostly just the beginning of the season. But this, some people are never going to forget this, when Rob Manfred made the MLB a political league by moving the All-Star Game. Fucking shameful. And you can see here, this is the entire poll about favorability. You see Major League Baseball, NBA, NFL, and NHL. Major League Baseball now 41% favorability rating by Democrats. Republicans all the way down to 12. And we're going to look at exactly what these numbers look like all along the way with every single form of social justice that has happened in these sports leagues. I want to show you the reaction that people have had. The article states that MLB's net favorability rating among Republicans fell 35 percentage points from 47 points in mid-March to 12 points at the end of last week. That is a massive drop-off, and some of those people just aren't fucking coming back. They are done with woke sports leagues and Major League Baseball. So I want to show you this. This is the entire chart since the beginning of the year last year. You see these favorability ratings among Republicans. Now you see Major League Baseball the entire time. Look at how high it's been. All the way up here to 55% favorability rating, while places like the NFL, the NBA were falling off a cliff because everything that they were doing for social justice. You can see in May, police killing of George Floyd sparked the resurgence of the Black Lives Matter movement. Immediately, the NFL and the NBA are on a sharp downward trend because these leagues immediately came out and virtue signaled. Major League Baseball wasn't too far after that with a pretty big drop because they had their opening day late and they did all this virtue signaling. Black Lives, again, BLM on the fucking mounds all over these stadiums. But you know, people started to get over it. People started to come back to baseball all the way until you have in March where people are excited about baseball again. What does Rob Manfred do? Rob Manfred makes the terrible decision to move the All-Star Game. Boom, down to 12. That's likely an all-time low, depending on how long this poll goes back. And now the only thing that's less than that is the woke, garbage, dog shit NBA. That is the decision that you have made that is pushing long-time fans. People who keep the MLB going, to be honest with you. People who bring their families out to these games. That fan base are the ones that you're alienating. You might have gained some favorability among Democrats. You might have done that. Maybe a few among independents too, but for the most part, the vast majority of your hardcore dedicated fans are now leaving you, Major League Baseball, because of what you've done, because of Rob Manfred's decisions to take woke social justice and woke identity politics messaging and make that the forefront of your sport. A lot of these people you will never, ever get back. Just look at the NBA. Just look at what happened to the NBA. Their ratings are in the shitter once again. Nothing else to blame for at this time. No bubble to blame, nothing like that. No, people just don't want to tune in because the NBA has fallen over themselves over and over again in order to virtue signal. That's exactly what Rob Manfred is now doing with Major League Baseball. Let me know your thoughts about all this in the comments below. Again, shout out to Outkick. Shout out to Megan Turner. Awesome what they're doing over there, building Outkick. Same thing that we are doing here at Geeks and Gamers. Of course, Sports Wars is a part of Geeks and Gamers. Make sure to go to geeksandgamers.com and join in on the discussion there. There's a bunch of different articles. There's forums. You can have the conversations that you want to. It's pretty incredible. But let me know your thoughts about all this in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.